Sexual Assault and Sex Crimes. This is Nick Spansky's presentation, co-authored by Talon. Come on, I'm trying to let it go forward. There we go. Alright, so what is sexual assault? Sexual assault is a crime in most states that indicates the crime of rape, as well as other lesser degrees of assault. Sexual relations become a crime if there is a lack of consent, they are a minor who is not capable of giving consent, they are a mentally deficient individual, they are performed in public, they are performed for profit, or it is between a patient and a therapist in violation of the laws of that state. Now, sexual assault mainly happens to women. Rarely happens to guys. So it's kind of overlooked when it does happen to men, unfortunately. I mean, both sides take a good blow for both of these. Now, sexual assault in Wisconsin statutes is first degree 940.225 1A to 940.225 1D Class B felony. This means without consent, have sexual contact or intercourse that leads to pregnancy, or is done by force or threat of force with a dangerous weapon, so gun, knife, whatever you want to consider a dangerous weapon, is aid and is abetted with to commit this act, or if any acts under second degree are done towards someone over the age of 60. Second degree 940.225 2A to 940.225 2J is a Class C felony. Without consent, have sexual contact or intercourse by threat of force or violence causes injury, illness, disease, or impaired of sexual reproduction organs with someone who has a mental illness or deficiency that makes them unable to give consent, with someone under the influence of an intoxicant which doesn't allow for consent to be given, with someone who is unconscious. So, now sexual assault, third degree 940.225 3A to 940.225 3B is a Class G felony, and this means just has sexual intercourse with a person without consent. And with a fourth degree, 940.225 3M is a Class A misdemeanor. This means has sexual contact with a person without their consent. Alright, we'll watch the video here. Hopefully it works.
after their phone call, they'll often bring the person who the alleged perpetrator interview and ask about what happened to the day, or if they know the alleged victim, what happened with the situation. What we see a lot of times is the alleged perpetrator will corroborate part of the story. And that's what investigators are looking for. They're looking for corroboration of the alleged story. So what I mean by that is the alleged perpetrator will say, yes, I know that person, yes, we went on a date that night, yes, we went to this place, yes, we went back to my place, yes, we were kissing a little bit, but it didn't go any further. Or, yes, these things started happening, but she didn't know when I saw it. So now all of a sudden the person gets corroborated all of the story, or much of the story, except the one part that investigators are going to say. So what we see is people will go in, tell the truth, they think they're helping themselves, all they've done is provide a substantial step in the investigation. After that, the person is arrested, and then we have other blogs and other posts about how the process. Otherwise, we're happy to talk with you about it. Or someone knows. Hi, Justin.
I want to do that. So basically, to sum up in my words, is I agree with 100% about the process. However, in what I've learned from doing internships in Wood County is they actually do not have officers talk to them. They want to try and have them only repeat it one time, and they take them up to, I believe it is Marshfield. But up there they have a specific victim center where they are tested, DNA swabbed. This is only done once, and they're able to tell the story to them instead of multiple times to any officers. No, this is recorded the entire time as well. But I think it's really cool how Wood County does that. I feel like it's a lot better for the individual who had this sexual intercourse happen to them, because they don't have to keep on reliving it and reliving it. Otherwise, it's a great video that explains everything. No, hopefully you're able to see it. Now, rape. Rape is anal, vaginal, or oral penetration by force or threat of force. The rape case will try and it depends on physical evidence available. Now, forcible compulsion is showing that the victim was raped or sexually assaulted under the force or threat of force. Hopefully I said that right. Now, rape and consent. Laws that state that there is no need to show that there was forcible compulsion. Threats of force, the victim fear has to be reasonably grounded. Report of rape rule. It states that prosecution may not be brought if the victim reports it after 3 weeks. In rape side laws, I'm not going to try that middle word. Laws passed by many states to limit the extent to which defense attorneys in a rape case can inquire into the victim's past sexual life. Now, I like that. I don't really like that law. But this law can kind of show you, like, okay, maybe it's quite often that they do it. Maybe they're trying to skip back someone because maybe they didn't do something with them. But I feel like that's probably because a lot of people just go on Tinder every day and do stuff like that, and one-night stands more and more and more, trying to get someone to have this happen. So I think that's one of the pretty good laws. Now, old rape laws versus new rape laws enacted after 1970. Now, a husband would not be able to be charged with raping his wife. Only a male can commit the crime. Now it's females. Both of these, well, nowadays a husband obviously will get charged, and a male and female can commit the crime nowadays. The common rape law did not include offensive touching. Nowadays it does. A husband can be charged with raping his wife if it was not consensual. Still is. Males or females can be charged. So yeah, this is basically what I was saying. The old law versus the new law. Now, the common law, rape did not include offensive touching. Now the modern sexual assault laws include offensive touching and sexual contact. Statutory rape 940.025. Engage in repeating acts of sexual assault of the same child. 948.05 is sexual exploitation of a child. 984.055, causing a child to view or listen to sexual activity. 940.06, incest with a child. 948.07, child enticement. 948.075, use of a computer to facilitate a child sex crime. 948.08, soliciting a child for prostitution. Now, child pornography. There are 5 categories of conduct and attempted conduct that are made criminal under federal and most state laws. Prosecution of child pornography, advertising child pornography, possession of child pornography, trafficking of child pornography, and procurement of child pornography. This is largely covered under Wisconsin State Statute 948.12. Sex offenders. They are prohibited from living within a specific distance of any child care facility, including schools. I can't remember offhand, but I think it's 100 yards, but I could be wrong. They have to notify authorities when they change their place of employment. They give authorities the DNA samples to be put in a database. They'll be placed on a public list showing their residence and all case files. And in some states, you can and will be committed under sexual predator laws. Now, the one thing that, actually I like a lot of things about it, but Stevens Point, when they usually release sex offenders into the community, they put a big post on Facebook saying what they did, where they're living, what they can and can't do. I think that is really good for them to put it out towards the community so they know what's kind of going on, even though they already are told by the person who is moving in. Alright, HIV and AIDS. Negligently exposing someone to HIV or AIDS is a felony. I kind of like the South Park reference here. It's actually a pretty good episode. Not because of HIV and AIDS, but it's South Park. Now, prostitution is one of 3 non-marital acts can be considered prostitution. 944.30, engaging in sexual relations with another person for a fee or something of value. Offering or soliciting to engage in sexual relations with another person for a fee or something of value. When requesting or agreeing to pay a fee or something of value to another person for sexual service and acts. Procuring, permitting, or pimping prostitutes are forbidden by state criminal codes. In Wisconsin, these codes are Wisconsin State Statute 944.30, 944.31, 944.32, and 944.34. Citations. I believe that's just for the video. Sorry about that. And here's the co-author notes. That is basically it on my end. Like I said, hopefully that video was able to play for you, and that's basically all that I have.